Hello, fellow survivors, and welcome to 7 Days to Die. We're doing a quick Alpha 15 first look. It just dropped this morning, and I'm getting ready to go away for the weekend. So, not going to have much time to do much of anything, but I wanted to get something up real quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an A15 first look and get this thing started. So I already bounced in for a few minutes this morning just to make sure it would load up and run everything fine. And I gotta tell you, I am very much impressed. One of the things I've always liked about this game was it was pretty, but it was prettier on other people's machines because the machine I'm using is not optimized for gaming. It's optimized for writing, which you can imagine doesn't require that much of a graphics card. So this is actually a much better... much more optimized graphics. Everything is looking prettier and smoother on my screen, which means everybody else that's a professional YouTuber or semi-pro game player or just has sunk enough money into their machines to make them sexy, this game is going to be fantastic looking. So you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. I have noticed that it takes a little bit longer to render up from start, and I'm going to guess that that is due to the fact that, especially on the first time up, it's rendering the entire world. That's one of the differences that they did to Random Gen, is it no longer modes out chunk by chunk, it actually pre-designs the world. So that's actually a good thing in the long run. It means that basically all your other loads and also gameplay while you're in world should both be smoother. Alright, here we go. Alright, so Noah's still being a dick and not giving us any help except telling us that we should figure out a way to fend for ourselves so we can be more useful to him. Alright, so... where did my cursor go? Okay, first load in, I have no mouse controls, so we're going to bounce out and try this again real quick. Okay, that's a little bit better. As we could see, graphics are much improved. Corn is all now one single piece instead of two pieces. I kind of don't like that you only get one ear of corn from picking corn, because unfortunately I know that in reality you normally get 4 or 5. But that's okay. That's a game thing, that's fine. Let's see. So if you look at just how deep that terrain view goes, like that is kilometers deep now, instead of just, you know, fading to black on you, as it were. And this is actually, you know, not the clearest of days, so this is really impressive. Let me see if I can get to somewhere. Oh, there's POI. And it's Forge House. Side note, I wish Forge Houses were a little bit less common. Like, maybe... Whoa, crawler! Maybe my group has just been getting really lucky, but we seem to find them on day 1 or 2 in pretty much every gameplay anymore. Ah! There's a broken leg. That's a ledge. That was definitely a ledge. Have fun there, crawler. As you could also see in the upper right-hand corner, I don't know if you guys had this problem or not, but I was not getting any of my Steam achievements to work in Alpha 14. Apparently they're working in Alpha 15 just fine. There's a dude who wants to eat my face. There's a nurse who wants to eat my face. There's another dude who wants to eat my face. So, we're going to avoid all of the face-eating peoples. My leg is broken. That makes avoiding face-eating peoples hard. Alright, so... let's see if I can. And that's a bear. Is that a bear taking... oh, bear was chasing me, not chasing the zombies. There we go. Kill a bunch of zombies, bear. So as you can see, we got a good amount of spawning of the Zeds in this edition, because this is just set to base settings, and that's a whole lot of Zeds, a whole lot of fast. The ground itself, as we can see, is much more dynamic. That's going to be a town that's going to spawn in. I'm assuming this is either an early access or, unstable issue, or it's just my computer. But I found last time I needed to get pretty close before a town gave up the goods. So, also, new POIs are in this one. I've already run into the penitentiary and a dive bar, which was kind of cool. Search. This is going to be an exceptionally bad idea, because I'm going to try to come through here with a broken leg. Which means I ain't going to be moving fast enough, and I'm going to die. Just love that distant terrain, man. Mad Mole, props to you. This is looking awesome. Conserve a little bit of energy. Now, one of the things they had said was the towns weren't going to have to be formed in blocks anymore, and they were going to have a more natural layout. So far, I haven't seen that. It's possible that it's just not incorporated yet. But the two towns that I've seen now have both been in a perfect grid formation like this. So let's just let them get a little bit closer so we can build up some stamina. And bye-byes. So new road texture looks great. Everything is really impressive. There are definitely new POIs that, even though we're not seeing any right now, definitely are spawning in the RAM gen, so that is a good thing. What are you assigned for over here? Probably that store behind. Oh yeah, passing gas, okay. Not the best environment for trying to find a way to split my leg. Shotgun Messiah. So, as we can see, everything that we knew and loved in Alpha 15, or in Alpha 14 rather, pretty much seems to still be here. Added our new multiple ways to crack your ankles, which I think is great. I will be injuring myself repeatedly on my shows. I can see it now. It's looking like it might be back to a good old, Alpha 11 always bring splints with you kind of thing. Hi, Piggy. This is a nice big town. I expected to be out the other side of it by now, and that's not happening. That is a big town. Also, one change that has happened is now that it can make towns like this on the regular on the map, we will no longer be having a hub city, which actually, there's been some mixed reviews on that idea. I am kind of for it. I like the idea of not necessarily knowing where I can get all of the resources, but knowing that the map is now able to generate all of the resources without need of that gimmick. Oh, this is going to be bad. You know what? I need some stamina to make it out of here alive. Get a little drinky drink. And head for the mountains. So you'll notice there on the horizon, you're seeing a lot more of the resource boulders, which I think is really cool. Basically, and unfortunately, I spawned into the one zone that makes it the hardest to tell. It looks like for Alpha 15, we are going to have a lot more scatter terrain generation. And, you know, by that, to use a gaming term, what I mean is you're seeing more cacti, you're seeing more trees, you're seeing more boulders, you're seeing more of the random effects that are sitting on top of the map that needed to be generated in, and that's going to be due to the optimization. They can now handle putting a lot more resources onto the map. So that looks like a thing that's going to happen. That's some pretty stuff, kids. New cactuses. They look all kinds of pretty. Yucca plants actually look like yucca now, which, you know, I'm thankful for. I would be really thankful for a little bit of cotton so I could maybe fix my leg and move a little bit faster and show you guys more of the map. None down there, but zombies. So let's avoid that. But I mean, as you can see, even right here in the desert, you're seeing a lot more in the way of generated terrain. A lot of yucca plants everywhere, cactuses everywhere, brush everywhere. So definitely looking good. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and get myself killed. And the reason I'm going to do that is we don't have anything yet. I want to try to show you guys a couple other biomes, and I want to be able to do it without a broken leg. So let's see if I can go pick a fight. There's that new stun effect. Yay, and we're dead. So new stun effect. As you can see, you got that, you know, underwater sound kind of going on. It's not the bell ringing that it was the first in Mad Mole's previews, but I like it. It still messes with the sound. It messes with your vision a little bit. It's, you know, stunned. Alright, let's see where it's going to drop us. Building environment. So a couple other things. I haven't done it yet, but you're going to see when we build a stone axe that it is 5 stone instead of 2. Now, this is to stop spammers from spamming. And believe it or not, this is not actually going to affect the casual player, the guy that's not trying to make a billion stone axes. And the reason is that the stone axe no longer just dissolves when it breaks. It breaks and then you have a useless tool, just like all of the other tools in the game. Which means now you're going to be able to scrap that stone axe. And when you scrap that stone axe, you're going to get 3 stone back. Which means after the first one, they're all going to cost you exactly the same amount of materials that they did the first time. And here we are, not in a different biome. Well, that was not effective. Please pick up one. Thank you. At least we'll be able to come and look at some pretty, pretty water. Like, even on low res now, water has motion and texture, and I just think that's amazing. Very happy with what the Pimperinos have done with the game. Let's see if I can't get somewhere where we can go and look at a thing. Apparently the only biome anymore is desert and this scraggy grasslands area. That's not good. Oh hey, a building. Oh, hey, zombies. So that means on the other side of this there will be a road away from the POI, and we can follow that back to the main road. And we can look at things again. Or there won't be. I guess that's a thing now too. That you could have a POI that's not connected to anything. Or, oh no, the road is just so ingrained into the terrain that I missed it. That's really cool. They don't really stand out as much anymore. That's nice. Also nice is my foot speed. So, a couple things of note. Skills and perks stayed mostly the same. There are a couple new skills, such as bartering, for obvious reasons. Those obvious reasons being there's now traders in the game. And that's going to affect your purchase price. So that's cool. Some of the perks are a little bit more expensive. Like, to get the concrete making perk, you still need 20 ranks of tool smithing, but then you need to spend 30 skill points on it. So, yikes. Let's see, we got another house over here. Oh, you're a bear. Hi, Mr. Bear. I will go and get myself killed again to try to aim for another biome if I have to. But yeah, as I had mentioned, skills, you're going to see that some of them are the same. Breaking and entering is neat. I don't remember that being on the list before. It allows you to do more damage to doors and walls with clubs and sledgehammers. So for your beatdown specialist, that's really good. Chemistry station, new stuff there. But yeah, concrete mixing, steel smithing, both 30 points a pop. So that's going to slow down your ability to get to those better materials, which honestly is probably good for the game. I like a little bit more of a Korean style grind, so that's probably a good compromise. There's a path over there on the mountain, all the way over there. Hey, look, a new biome. Yay. Alright, so now we are in the conifer forest. Also, again, with more scatter terrain being available, I've noticed that you're seeing a lot more in the way of the resource boulders. Like right here where you would normally only see 2 or 3, we've got 7. So that is a really good thing. And then you've got this close, you've got another patch up there with more. So they definitely are putting more into the world. I think that's a good thing. It's going to allow you to feel more comfortable running a nomad style game as opposed to base hoarding, because you don't have to worry about not being able to find bare resources along the way. Craft the stone axe. Excuse you. Oh, I had them and then I died. So I need wood and fibers. Well, that's not tough. I hear you coming up behind me. Don't think I don't. Alright. Look at these hills. Definitely going to be a lot of ankle cracking going on. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. And again, folks, I am not running very advanced graphics at all. As a matter of fact, we'll do this for a second. Options. Video. So as you can see, I'm running middle of the pack at best view distance, field of view, pretty low. Half size texture quality. You know, everything is, you know, bare bonesing, and the game still looks like this. So 5 seconds per axe. I probably would have made that a little bit longer if they were still looking to try to cut down on spamming, because that's how you stop people from spamming. If you make it take 8 seconds to craft a stone axe, doesn't affect the guy that's crafting one too much, but it's really going to hurt the guy that's trying to do 12 a minute, because now he's not going to be able to. Alright, also change here. If you'll notice down in this corner, hopefully the icon isn't in the way, but you'll notice you're now getting raw iron beating on rocks, which then needs to be smelted in a forge into real iron to use for things, or you can scrap it. And when you scrap it, it will turn it into iron. At a pretty good return rate, by the way. Let me see how it is on a 1-for-1. That was 11 for 3, which means there's some odd percentages in there. So your best return here on a single one, you're going to get 3. So you're getting 2 and a piece on each. Probably like a 2.4 or something like that, which is kind of cool. Crafting is working exactly the same. There's no change to those mechanics. This land is just gorgeous. You can see all of that in the distance already spawning in. And mounds like this in the wasteland. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are we off the edge of the map? I believe we might be. Or does the wasteland just look that dirty now? The wasteland just looks that dirty now. Wow. Okay. Nice little post-nuclear haze going on. That's a change. Oh, by the way, keep an eye out, because there might be landmines on the ground in here. They're now in the ground spawning in this zone. So that's always going to be fun. And I believe we just transitioned out of the wasteland and into desert. Yeah. So, zone transitions, biome transitions, very, very smooth. Really a fan. So, as you guys can see who have followed me in the past, I started a brand new channel. I wanted to make a dedicated gaming channel because YouTube was getting really confused, starting to send some of my people who want to read my writing to look at gaming stuff, and people who are following me for gaming stuff to go read other authors' blogs. So I was getting a little bit of a negative pushback on that, so I'm making a separate, dedicated channel just for ankle breaking. And going to have some new content coming up as soon as I get back next week, because we're going to be playing the crap out of this new unstable 15. Look at how clean the bag looks. Whoa. So, very good stuff. I am going to be... What am I going to be doing with the new Alpha 15? I'm going to be doing a base building series for people that want to build better bases but aren't terribly skilled at it, because I'm generally the architect for our gaming group, so I do all of our base designs. And I've had a couple people be like, well, you can't build without using creative mode, and that's just not true. So I want to demonstrate for the peoples a little bit of how to build effective bases on short periods of time. So we're going to be starting that up next week. Also, I had a really cool idea. I wanted to build off of the One Life Challenge that I was doing, because it was fun, but it wasn't as immersive as I wanted it to be, because it honestly isn't that hard to not die if you're really focused on not dying. So I wanted to do a little bit more of a storyteller kind of series. I'm going to give Z Nation all of the credit for inspiring me on this one, but I'm going to do kind of like a video report in-world kind of thing, following a lone survivor who got separated from his caravan. So it's going to kind of combine gameplay and some storytelling, as I'm a writer. So that's that's going to be fun. This is just beautiful, and I have somebody in my group that absolutely is not going to want to come to the wasteland ever, ever, ever anymore. He's just going to be like, nope, it's all toxic. I'm staying out. This is lovely. So I'm going to have the day in the life kind of series thing going on. We're going to have some base building. We're hopefully going to have some, as soon as the Alpha 15 stable drops, my group, which plays on Ground Zero Gaming, which, if you're looking for a good server to play this game on, they are phenomenal. Shout out to those guys. We're going to be kind of following a group play on there, so that ought to be a lot of fun, because the guys are pretty hilarious. And yeah, I gotta get going. I'm already running late for this weekend, but I just needed to get in here and show you guys a little bit of what's going on. Look at the new ground texture there. We get the bricks in it and everything. This game just went from pretty, if you have a good gaming machine, to pretty regardless. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what some of the guys that have better equipment, like Games for Kicks and whatnot, what they're going to be able to do. And that's a dog, so we're going to die now. We don't even have a bow. We're going to try to outrun a dog by running into another zombie. Haha, bye. So I think that's pretty much going to be it. That's pretty much, I just wanted to get in, look at it real quick, give you guys a little bit to go on, and, you know, make myself late. So thanks for stopping in and taking a look at Alpha 15 with me. If you liked my incessant rambling, please put a like down below. If you'd like to hear my incessant rambling more frequently, then please follow the channel, and there will be new content all up in Alpha 15. Oh, concrete bunker fell. Nice. New content all up in Alpha 15 starting on Monday. Thank you very much. You guys have a great weekend, and I hope the zombies don't get you.